Huge announcement by Red Bull to swap drivers Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. Here's the breakdown. Japan, the land of the rising sun, boasts a very unique F1 track. Suzuka is famed for its figure of 8 layout, the only track on the Formula 1 calendar that has a crossover on the racing track. Yes, Abu Dhabi's pit lane goes under the pit straight, but Suzuka is the only one where the circuit actually crosses over itself. The Japanese track is a 5.8 kilometer or 3.6 mile long motorsport racetrack located in Inwa, Suzuka City, Mie Prefecture, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and operated by Honda Mobility Land, a subsidiary of Honda Motor Company Limited. The track can hold approximately 155,000 eager race fans, much smaller than other locations around the world. Enough about the track. Now on to the news that sent shockwaves, or did it really, through the F1 paddock, and that is Yuki replacing Liam. I think Liam is lucky he's racing with a team that has a sister team, so to speak, so it could have been an easy swap and still be in F1. Liam came out all over social media stating how frustrating F1 can be, and also he even felt a bit bullied by the social media aspects out there. What do you think? Comment below. For me, F1 is a tough sport, I get that. You have to perform from the get-go, and especially at a team like Red Bull that is notorious for changing drivers rather quickly. We saw Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon and others get swapped out in the past, Max being the only one that lasted the Red Bull pressure cooker. Someone raised an interesting point to me about the fact that Red Bull builds the car around Max and only Max. So every other Red Bull teammate would need to either adapt to the car or be on their way out. It's an interesting thought, and I wondered if there is any merit to it. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let's talk a bit about practice. It was filled with red flags, but we saw Ryu Hirakawa in for Jack Doohan in FP1 for the BWT Alpine team, as Yuki drives the RB car for the first time, with the Japanese crowd loving every minute of it. One funny thing in FP1 was Carlos Sainz driving past his team in the pit lane, thinking he was at the end of the pit lane. The red flag in FP2, brought out by Jack Doohan in the Alpine, a massive crash, and glad to see he's okay. We'll see another driver swap for this season with Alpine, maybe, I don't know, Jack for Ryo. What do you think? Or was it something with the car that caused Jack to crash? Alonso touching the grass and getting stuck in the gravel, bringing out the second red flag of FP2. A third red flag for FP2, this time the fire on the grass returns, notorious for the Japanese track. Sparks from the cars hit the dry grass, and then the rest is up in smoke, quite literally. But a fourth red flag for the grass again. In the end, Piastri was first and Lando in second. A good run for the Hajar as well, finishing third at the end of FP2. FP3 started off with an interesting message from Hajar about an issue within the cockpit. Theory behind it is that the seatbelt could have been loose, which you wouldn't want to let the stewards know about, and then end up with a fine for the team or driver. 7 minutes in and a red flag emerged. This time, you guessed it, the grass fires again. Even after cutting the grass overnight, they plan to dampen the grass, but still seems to be an issue. There was a comment from one of the commentators on F1 that said the skid plates under the F1 cars are useless and are just for looking good on TV with all the sparks. Do you agree with that? Let us know in the comments below. Now let's move to quali. Q1 started off as expected. The McLarens and Ferraris are at the top. Hajar continues to struggle with his seatbelts in the car, even causing him pain based on the onboard camera, so definitely something was off for the car, affecting his performance. With a radio message that I think no driver should say over the radio, saying he can't focus. Yes, it's very tough to hear that from a driver. Maybe keep that one to your race engineer only, surely affecting his confidence out there. First time for Liam Lawson out of Q1, but only just. Still good to see, maybe he's more comfortable in the Racing Bulls car than the Red Bull previously. Mega drive by Ollie Bearman, have to give it up to him to make it to Q3. Tough one for Yuki though, finishing 15th and Liam in 14th. Wanted to see Yuki in Q3 for sure this time around, especially at his home race. I think he has the car to be in Q3. Still early days for him. Max Verstappen taking pole position was a remarkable lap on quali, slowly working his way up the ladder all weekend, setting a new lap record in the process. Well deserved, very good by Antonelli as well, and Hajar as the rookies in Q3, with Bearman starting 10th. Now let's get to the race. Clean getaway for the entire pack. I'm surprised since it was a bit damp in the track from earlier rain showers. Interesting to see how Max and Lando angled towards each other, and Max just barely getting a good enough start to stay ahead of Lando. Yuki passed Liam within the first 2 laps, which I expected, and I'm sure Red Bull was glad to see, given the swap drama with those two. Hamilton started on the hard, which I think was the tyre to start with. He made the pass on Hajar look easy into turn 1. I would have thought Max would have taken the hards to start the race and go a bit longer in the race before a tyre swap. McLaren trying to do dummy calls on Max, which didn't work at all. Nice try though, McLaren. Max did not force Lando off into the grass exiting the pit lane. This is my opinion. That's absurd if you ask me. Max could not go left and Lando could have backed off. At the end of the day, no further action by the stewards. What are your thoughts? Was it just racing? Who was wrong in that situation? Was anyone wrong? Let us know in the comments below. What was up with Alex Albon though? He was very antsy on his radio messages, expressing frustration over when to pit compared to Ali Beerman. I don't think he was having the most exciting race, but he surely had some remarks to share. Mega drive from Max to take the win. The McLarens, I think, made the mistake of not using the advantage of 2 cars and using different strategies. Yuki outside of the points, unfortunately, but still early days for him, so I look forward to what he can do with more time in that Red Bull. Still, he finished ahead of Liam Lawson. 0 retirements, 0 yellow flags, 0 red flags, no grass fires, no safety car. Not sure if that's a first for Suzuka, but I wouldn't be surprised. In conclusion, overall a pressure test I think for Red Bull and a missed opportunity for McLaren. Ferrari had a bit of a mixed result trying different strategies with Hamilton and Leclerc. Yuki, driver of the day, as expected due to it being his home race and a new team for him. The drivers certainly found the race to be boring, I have to agree, with about 4 or 5 drivers stating it was a lonely and boring race for them. But who knows, maybe next year Japan will be more exciting. But for now, next up is Bahrain. Can Max and the Red Bull team keep his momentum, or will the McLarens, Ferraris and Mercs come back strong for this round? Who do you think wins in Bahrain? Let us know in the comments below your prediction. That's all the time we have for this episode. Be sure to check out our other episodes of Let's Talk F1. Share your comments below, join the discussion, and consider subscribing to the channel. Giving it a thumbs up. That surely helps us out a lot. Also check out our merch at ModzCity.com. We feature some F1 inspired merch as well. Plus, new merch is out right now. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, this is Let's Talk F1.